Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in season 5 and episode 15. Here we are honored here to have Grassfield and Grassfield alum, and he went on to play at Western Carolina, and now he's part of the Detroit Tigers organization. Justice Bigbie, Justice, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem. Appreciate your time. Well, hey, before we talk about the last season and what you're doing now, let's start at the beginning. I mean, I know with you growing up with the same age as my nephew, and then definitely when you were in high school and me helping rolling out there at Western Branch, I know that just talk about growing up here in Chesapeake around sports.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm born and raised in Chesapeake. I played all sports, kind of growing up: basketball, baseball, football, kind of in the Great Bridge area, um, and really just, I mean, really just grew up right through Great Bridge. I guess I was zoned to go to Great Bridge until Grassfield was built in I think 2008 or something. So then I ended up going over to Grassfield there. Yeah, but played football in the rec system, basketball, baseball out in the SCA
Yeah,
for a little bit, and then kind of got into some travel baseball, through Chesapeake, and yeah, really just Chesapeake. It wasn't. I mean, maybe some Western, like some Western Branch guys and stuff like that. But yeah, that was kind of it. I grew up and then went to Grassfield High School, and then that was about it.
yes, and I know with my brother's oldest, Colin. He knows Andrew Bullock, Brett Smith. So just I know that Grassfield there with Coach Spedden and Coach Banks.
Right.
Similar to Coach Wright there at Western Branch, the district and the regional 6A always went down to Western Branch and Grassfield as you were going through.
Yeah, that was yeah, Coach Spedden and Coach Banks. Yeah, I played a little showcase ball with Coach Banks's team. But yeah, just played for Coach Spedden, and yeah, it was Grassfield, Western Branch. Typically, usually we're always fighting for some spots, but yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I had a couple buddies that went to Western Branch, so there was always that kind of rivalry. With that. I mean, there was always Grassfield, Great Bridge as well, and Grassfield and Hickory. But when I was in high school, they switched it. I think I want to say my sophomore year, they switched it. I don't think they do it anymore, but we had went and played
Yeah,
Woodside, Kickingham,
yeah,
Bethel,
right.
and played in the peninsula, which was
Yeah,
kind of odd at the time. But yeah, I think Granby was in it also, I believe. Yeah, but
that's
it was
right.
that kind of little pocket of teams that we played. I think we played them two home and home, so it was kind of had a rivalry there with some I guess some schools that you weren't used to playing.
Right.
Which I preferred playing against Great Bridge and Western Branch and Hickory a little bit. I mean, Western Branch was six A at the time, but I preferred playing those guys at the time because you knew some more of the guys, and you played them. But it was good though. I mean, we had a couple good teams, and like you said, Andrew Bullock, he was on him and Brett Smith and Garrett Stallings,
Yeah, that's great, Care.
Hunter Purdue.
Mm.
Yeah, so we had some good teams on my sophomore and junior year and senior year. We had some good talent go through Grassfield, and made for some fun games and some a lot of talent.
Yes, yeah, and I think they've kind of, I think it was kind of called the Monitor Merrimack Conference there with the
Yeah.
Peninsula and the Chesapeake team and Granby, that were 6A. Now it's kind of gone back to the district, and then once the regular season ends, then you get divvied up on what region you are. But you talk about having some friends on other teams, especially other Chesapeake high schools, and that's the thing. Like when you're growing up and you're getting better and being competitive at one sport, when high school's over, you're going to have those teammates play on a travel team, but then once travel takes a break and you're back in school, then the then you face each other. But it adds a little bit more to the rivalry when summer and fall you're teammates with these travel players. But then when you play for your school, a little bit a little friendly rivalry.
It is, yeah, it definitely is. That was, yeah. I mean, you grow up and you kind of play. I mean, when you grow up and you play baseball, you kind of it's kind of a small world. You know a lot of people. You play with a lot of different people, especially in travel ball. And especially once you get, I think when you get to like that high school level, like I played for Coach Banks's team, you play with a lot of different guys. I mean, I played with guys from Virginia Beach that I played against growing up. I played for the Chesapeake or Virginia Bay Sox when I was young. So we played a lot of the Western Branch teams. We played a lot of the like Virginia Beach teams, the Drillers and stuff like that. So you play
Right.
against a lot of these guys growing up. Then you kind of play with them, and then like you said, when you get to high school, yeah, it does have kind of a rivalry to it, and it's a fun little battle, and make for some fun games, and especially kind of the Grassfield Great Bridge. I think most people go to Great Bridge Middle School, and then you
Yeah.
divvy up
And
from there, really. Yeah, so it's a lot of your friends go to Great Bridge or Hickory, and yeah, just I mean it makes for some fun games, and you always want to win, and yeah,
yeah.
it really does make for some fun games, and I mean, high school baseball was awesome. I mean, I loved playing. I mean, it was unbelievable. I enjoyed every second of it, especially kind of growing up in that area. And you really just had some fun times playing football and baseball at the time at Grassfield.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and like I was telling my wife, I mean, with Elizabeth, right before we got on, actually, you were behind the plate when high school career started, but by the time you finished, then you moved there to middle infield, right?
Yeah, that's right. I played really. I was a catcher kind of growing up.
Okay.
I don't even. I mean, I kind of enjoyed catching. It's obviously it's a tough job back there. Um, it's you take a lot of beatings, but I mean, I did. I played. I was a catcher, and then my sophomore year, going into my sophomore year, our catcher had graduated, and that was kind of my slot in to get some playing time
Right.
at the varsity level, because the freshman year I didn't play varsity, just played JV, and that
Okay.
was kind of my route into catching. I wasn't very good at catching, but that was just something that kind of got me onto the field, which was great. So then senior year comes, and then we had another catcher that did a really solid job back there, and I ended up moving to shortstop. I think at the time our shortstop was a young guy, and he ended up. I don't really know how it all happened. To be
Right.
honest with you, but ended up playing a little shortstop, and I kind of just went from there and kind of tried to be an athlete and play. I'd never really played shortstop at all. But yeah, just I really just tried to go out there and be an athlete and play. And so I played shortstop my last year, but it was basically just catcher and shortstop for my high school career.
And so when was the year, I guess maybe, as you were going into high school, you said freshman year, JV, sophomore year, had that opportunity to play varsity there with being a catcher. So was it kind of like after that sophomore year that, maybe hey, let's see what I can do to, get myself seen to play baseball at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I played, I played football, and I played basketball my freshman year at Grassfield. I kind of realized pretty early on that was not my route. I wasn't very big at the time. And especially it was kind of like a weird timing with basketball being winter and baseball kind of
Right.
like it kind of had that
Overlapping.
overlap. I mean, So at the time, I really enjoyed football. That was kind of like, I mean, to be honest with you, that was my favorite sport. I loved
Right.
playing football. And I kind of thought that football was going to be my route.
Okay.
I don't. I was kind of average at both of them. I wasn't
Mm.
really like I was nothing, nothing special. And I think I really just wanted to try to play some college football maybe somewhere and go to
Okay.
school. And that was kind of where I thought what was gonna happen. Obviously, I had some different plans, and I kind of hit a little bit of a growth spurt. Sophomore year, I had a good year, varsity. Um, and then going into that junior year, I kind of had I was a little bit of a late bloomer, kind of had some growth there. And ended up getting a lot better at baseball kind of thing at that time.
Mm.
And at the time, I still enjoyed football more though. Like it was, I was
Right.
still, I think I was better at baseball maybe, but I really did enjoy football more. I think that was what I really loved at the time. I mean, I love baseball, but I really love football at the
Right.
time. Um, and then obviously kind of went to my senior year. Had some like recruiting both ways, and baseball I think ended up working out in the end, and that was kind of the route I went. I ended up going towards baseball. I think towards the end of my high school career, I kind of started leaning a little bit more baseball, and I felt like I had a better opportunity down
Hmm.
the baseball road,
Yeah.
and that was kind of where I went.
Yes, and you mentioned football, and definitely, Western Branch and Grassfield, their meet football, Coach Asprey, their coach in Grassfield, and, Brett and Grant Holloway,
Yeah,
they're being part of Grassfield football. So,
yeah,
yeah, I could see where, your coach and your teammates, both great there football and then also baseball. So,
yeah.
I could see as you were, going through Grassfield, let's see which one. And I know it was baseball. So what led to Western Carolina, giving you that opportunity?
Yeah, I kind of got into my senior year. Hadn't really gotten like any offers or anything at all. So that's kind of why I was kind of stuck up in the air. Is like I really enjoyed football and I really and I enjoyed baseball, but obviously I enjoyed football a little bit more.
Right.
But I didn't have any offers in really any of it, so I didn't really know kind of what I was going to do. But like we had mentioned earlier, Andrew Bullock, he was at Western Carolina at the
Okay,
time.
that's right. Yeah.
So he kind of put in a word for me with the coach there, and ended up kind of getting involved with Western Carolina, and um, it was kind of late in the process, and I had to basically kind of walk on at Western. Um,
Mm,
so I had to. They didn't have a spot because it was kind of late at the time. I
yeah.
didn't. I didn't really decide to go there, I guess, until the winter
Of
of my senior year. So then I ended up going to Western, being kind of like a preferred walk on, I guess. So I didn't
right.
really have a spot. So I kind of had to try out in the fall. So tried out everything. I played well in the fall, so I earned a spot on the team, which was great. And kind of just that was where I was, and it worked out really well.
Well, I know that this is athletics and being a student athlete, but that's also, with a high school teammate, Andrew, putting in a good word, kind of, it kind of shows that, whether you're around sports or whether you're looking for a job, it's always good to have that connection. And even though, you and Andrew weren't in the same class, but from the same high school, and here's a upperclassman, that goes to Western Carolina and vouching for you, and hard work and stay the course pays off, and ended up having a great college career there at Western Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I have. I mean, Andrew Bullock. He was. I mean, he was basically he. I probably really. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd probably be where I was at, because I think he he really helped me out getting to Western, because I we had played for we had played for Banks's team
Right.
um, my freshman year. Obviously, he was a little bit older than me, but then we go to Grassfield and he had seen me play for a couple of years, so I'd gotten kind of close with him, and he really did help me out, and that was kind of what really propelled me to go to Western and be there for 4 years. So he was, I mean, he really did save my kind of career, honestly, in baseball. I mean, believe it or not.
Yeah, yeah, and they're part of the Southern Conference, so like VMI, UNC, Greensboro. I mean, mid-major D1, but hey, when conference and postseason play, comes out there, I mean, Western Carolina, they're vouching for winning the regular season, winning the conference tournament, and getting into postseason play. So you did well there, and understand that 2020, the pandemic, but you came right back. And what did you do for the summers there with college baseball? Did you get involved with a collegiate summer league?
Yeah, so I went and played in the Northwoods League up in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Well, up in, I guess, that Midwest area. I was
Right.
in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
For I was there for I was there for 2 years. Well, so after my freshman year, I went to Madison. After
Yeah.
my sophomore year, I went to Madison, and then obviously junior year was COVID.
Right.
I still went up there in July. Well, it was probably like July, August time, kind of when COVID had started to. Everyone had kind of started to like open back up and do some things. I
Right.
went back. I went back up there again, and that wasn't more of a league. That was more of like a scrimmages, and
Yeah.
you really just getting live at bats, getting ready for fall season again at your colleges.
Right.
Um, and then that was my junior year. That was after the junior year COVID year, and then
Yeah.
senior year. Yeah, so I played 3 years, and then senior year. Well, I guess I was a COVID junior because I still had a year of eligibility left.
Right.
Um, and after my senior COVID junior year,
Yeah.
that was when I got drafted.
Yeah.
And that was that. But yeah, I played in the Northwoods for a couple of years.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And relating back to Andrew, I know that he played a couple summers there with the Fond du Lac uh,
Yeah, yeah,
team there in the Northwoods. But and then what you just referenced, getting the getting the opportunity of being drafted there by the Detroit Tigers. So what come that after that 2020 year, then getting ready for that 21 season, just stay the course, and couple scouts following you, and then getting the call there in the 19th round.
yeah. I mean, COVID kind of put a wrinkle on everything. I mean, it did for everybody, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't just baseball. Well, it was
Right.
really everybody.
Everybody.
So that would have been my first draft year, or first eligible draft year. That
Eligible. Yeah.
Yeah, eligible, right? Um, so that obviously they cut that down to 5 rounds, and that kind of did a whole. It was a whole mess, really. And then went back to school for my senior year, had a good year. And then got drafted in the 19th round. I really wasn't sure if I was going to get drafted or what was going to happen. So I was grateful to be drafted, and went. Tigers picked me up in the 19th, like you said, and that was kind of my college career, and I'm with the Tigers still, and still like you said, putting each foot forward and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife's niece, they live right outside of Lakeland. So,
Mm.
we've been past Joker Merchant Stadium, and,
Yep.
stopped at that Cracker Barrel
Oh yeah.
but it's there with the Tigers, spring training facility. I mean, hey, you can't beat Florida or Arizona,
No.
and then that one year that you played, for the Lakeland Tigers as you were moving up. Just talk about, because what now you've moved to the outfield, right?
Yeah, yeah. I at the time I'd gotten drafted as a first baseman out of Western. I hadn't never really played first base um, other than in summer ball. I
Right.
when they'd kind of moved me around a little bit, and so then I'd gotten to I'd gotten to the Tigers and went. I was in Lakeland at the time. I played in the FCL there my first summer after getting drafted, and then went to the Flying Tigers in 22. Played pretty much first base all year. I think I'd played outfield a couple times. I played a little bit of outfield at Western Carolina,
Okay.
not too much, but did play a little bit of outfield. And then they had kind of moved me to the outfield in 22, and then in 23. I basically played primarily outfield, so they had moved me from first back to the outfield, and moved me to primarily outfield at the time. Um, and then just been playing outfield ever since, really. That's left and right field basically, and that's where I've been. When I've been with the Tigers.
Yeah, yes, and I saw that, with getting prepared for this episode, I saw, there has been a couple springs where you've gone to spring training as a non-roster invitee there with the big league club. So what here you are, off season of 25, and when the calendar turns there to 2026 here on January 1st, then it's almost time to get ready and go back down there to the Grapefruit League and get ready for spring training.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's being kind of backing up some of the big league games has been great. It's been awesome. It's a great opportunity, and I think it really is cool to play with some of those players and kind of see, um, how they. It's just cool to watch it up. See it close and personal. I think it's been awesome. So I think, yeah, like you said, it's once you kind of turn to the new year, you really start getting close, and you start getting anxious a little bit, getting ready to go. And I think as we're getting on to next year, I think it'll be great to get back down there to Lakeland and start playing again. Really.
Yes, because what Double A there in Erie, and how the minor league system has worked all across baseball. Erie is in the same league as Richmond, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
so you have come back, to play at the Diamond, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
past year, I played up there in Richmond.
Okay.
There's in that league, in Erie, you come down and you play in Bowie, Maryland for
Okay. Yeah. Or
the Orioles Double A,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and then you play in Richmond. So there's a couple series that we're able to play a little bit closer to home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that league's a little bit closer than, I guess, West Michigan, the high A, or Toledo, triple A. Those are
Right.
obviously those are a little bit further away, but Erie is a little bit closer, so you're able to be a little bit closer to home.
Right. And Toledo here with growing up here, I mean they've definitely, I know that AAA has also gone through a reorg, but Toledo and Norfolk, they might not play as often as they once did, but I know that Toledo there's is part of the international league there with the Tides.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Toledo, when I was there, they basically really they just play like kind of in that like Omaha, Iowa,
Oh,
St.
okay.
Paul,
Yeah.
Columbus is right there. But yeah, they don't. I guess I mean, you would probably be a little bit more familiar. I a little bit newer. They did play a little bit more on this, like the Tides and Charlotte, that kind of area. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so they basically kind of play a little bit further away, just because they're a little bit more into that Midwest
Close.
area.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So that's I haven't played in Norfolk, but I have been able to go play in Richmond this past year, which is
Yeah.
obviously that's not too far of a little drive up north.
Right, right. And to all the listeners out there, AAA did used to have three leagues, and what we were talking about, one of the leagues folded, and now it's either the PCL or the IL. And
Hmm.
I see what you mean, because even the Tides, don't play everyone,
Right.
a home and home. So what you were explaining, I mean, that's pretty much how everybody's gone. But hey, Justice, I appreciate your time, and we'll be uh, we'll be rooting for you. And like I said, I've known your dad for a long time there through the Wells family, and
Mhm.
so enjoy the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, and good luck there in the 26th season.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on, and happy holidays to you as well as we get closer to that holiday season.
Yes. Hey, and another thing for all the baseball fans that are listening to this, I mean, definitely you come into high school as a catcher, you graduate high school as a shortstop, you go to college as a preferred walk on out in the outfield, then summer ball, first base, and then hey, wherever you can get in the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Just find. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give is just really just find your way into that lineup. If you can, whatever position that may be, find your way into the lineup. Try do a lot of different positions, and like I said, I think that kind of helped me out get drafted, and obviously that was awesome, and I was super super thankful and grateful for the Tigers for giving me that opportunity. It's been awesome. The Tigers have been great. It's been awesome.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I know, real quick here, when Kadir came on, and, one of the off-season sports clubs, I think it was the Portsmouth Sports Club that he talked to, like January, or maybe it was fall time frame, but he even expressed there to the audience, how he was coming up with the Twins, shortstop at Great Bridge, and then when he got to the Twins, then he was moving to the outfield and playing different positions, because wherever he was at, shortstop or third base, it was going to be quicker to move up as he moved to different positions. So definitely a great lesson here for all the baseball players that are playing now. Hey, as long as you can hit, you know, get multiple positions, put you in the
Yeah,
lineup.
yeah, you're right. Absolutely, it's valuable. Being able to play different positions, and if you can have a good bat and put up some good numbers hitting wise, and you can play a couple positions, you'll be very valuable.
Yes. Well, hey, Justice, thanks again, and talk to you later, and have a great 26th season.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me
Okay.
on.